pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Uncle Steve. Thank you, Grandpa, for fighting in the Army.
Thank you, Dad, for fighting in the Navy. Thank you, Mallory.
Thank you, Dad, for fighting in the Army.
Thank you, Cousin Ethan.
Thank you, Grandpas.
Thank you, Grandpa Johnny. Thank you, Papa Great and Papa Vanderhoff.
Thank you, Grandpa Youngs.
Thank you, Grandpa Bruce. Thank you, Grandpa Clyde. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Grandpa Johnny.
Thank you, Grandpa Bill, for serving in the Army.
Thank you, Grandpas and Dad.
Thank you, Grandpa. Thank you, Grandpa Virgil and Grandpa Ralph. Thank you, Grandpa Johnny and Grandpa Gustafson. Thank you, Uncle John.
Thank you, Uncle Mike.
Thank you, Aunt Rachel.
Thank you, Grandpa.
I'm Casey Mackey, and I'm going to enlist in the Army because I feel like I should make a difference for this country.
I'm Lizzie Price. I am a part of the Wisconsin Army National Guard, and I joined because my grandpa fought proudly in World War II, and I wanted to honor him, and I wanted to further my medical experience, and I also wanted to be a part of something bigger than myself.
I'm Cole Logan. I'm considering to join the Army because I'm undecided on my future, and I feel like serving for my country is the best thing to do.
Thank you to Grandpa Larry Smith for serving in the military and the Air Force. Thank you.
I would like to thank my cousin, Jason Wise, for being in the military and allowing me to have my freedom to do what I love and to be myself.
Thank you, cousin John and Michael, for being in the military and helping out with our country.
Thank you, Kyle, for serving in the Navy.
I want to thank my grandpa for his service. He recently passed away, but he was a brave man. He got drafted into the Korean War, and he saved a lot of lives. So, thank you.
Thanks, Grandpa Ralph, for serving in the Navy.
Thank you, veterans, for all that you've done to help our country.
I'd like to thank my grandpa, William Abrams, who served in the Vietnam War.
Thank you, Charlton, for serving in the United States Marine Corps.
Thank you, Marissa Merlot and John Horbaugh, for serving in the Army.
Our grandpa was in the Vietnam War and he fixed airplanes. We want to thank him very much for fighting for us, and we are very proud of him.
Thank you to our Grandpa Parisi
And our great-grandpa Wiganowski
for fighting in World War II and Vietnam.
Thank you, Cousin Johnny, for serving in Desert Storm. And thank you to Uncle Jack and Uncle Beagle.
Thank you, Uncle Travis, for serving in Marja, Afghanistan.
Thank you, big sister Lizzie.
Thank you, veterans. Thank you, veterans. Thank you, veterans. Thank you, veterans, for all you do. Thank you, veterans. Thank you, veterans. Thank you. Thank you, veterans. Thank you, veterans.
I want to say thank you to all the veterans on Veterans Day and every day. And to honor the veterans, we are going to keep up the rock flag by Jump River, and my focus and I are going to make sure that it's clean and painted every year in honor of Clarence Calander.
Veterans Day means to me all the people that have given their lives, have won wars for us and helped people. It means freedom for our country. My daughter is serving right now, and she's been in there 10 years in the Air Force Reserves, and I'm very proud of her. And I have a grandson that just went in the Army. It's very important.